Hello and welcome to a little video I'm doing in honoring of the new Digimon Adventure series, Digimon Try, which is to celebrate a 15-year anniversary of the original Digimon series. And basically, I would like to sort of analyze or just ask a little question of the original Digimon series. This really gets talked about too much in terms of other shows like Pokemon or anything like that, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Perhaps as well. It doesn't really get appreciated, I don't think so. So, sort of like the main question I'm wondering is it underrated? Is it underappreciated by fans? I mean, they're doing a 15-year anniversary of this show, so obviously there is millions or so people who do enjoy this show very much, and so very much I want to ask this question of whether it is underappreciated or underrated. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. But before we answer that question, I would like to sort of analyze the series as it was before. So when I am analyzing the series, I will probably get into spoilers. If you haven't already seen the Digimon Adventure series, you have plenty of time to do that. I believe there's a subbed version of that and the English dub version, which is the one I grew up on as a kid. In Netflix, so you can check that out on Netflix there for either the sub series or the dub series, and they're like the different terminology and different names are the only differences between the few, but the content is very much the same thing. It's just different names and different terminology of the whole world that they're building in Digimon is the only difference between the subbed and the dubbed series. And with this analysis, I'll be reading the synopsis from myanimelist.net, pretty good website just to look up, the voice actors and actresses for any kind of anime. And so for the synopsis, it basically reads as, 7 kids are transported to the digital world, a strange place where digital creatures called Digimon reside. A group of Digimon soon befriend them and keep the kids out of harm's way. The children discover they are the chosen children, which protect the digital world from evil Digimon like Devimon and Vamdemon. And chosen children is what they call in the sub-series. In the dub series, as I remember it, they're called the Digi-Destined. And that was a cooler name, I think, for what the whole destiny thing is for the Digimon, the Digi-Destined or whatever you want to call them. And I believe Tai is his name, or Tai Chi. Then Matt is Takamoto or Tamato or whatever, and different terminology, different names, of course, to sort of translate to different audiences he wants, either a Japanese audience or a American audience. So I would just use the American names that they use because that's the one I grew up on. And I'll also only talk about the original Digimon series because there was Digimon Adventure 2, which is sort of the same premise of what Digimon Try is doing, following these kids in high school years, but that was more following a different group of Digimon, Digi-Destined, I should say. Except you have TK and Kari joining them as well, while the Digimon Try series, basically the synopsis, or at least from the trailer, the only teaser trailer that's all been released for this series, just reads as 15 years after summer vacation. If we didn't go to the digital world, if I didn't make the trip with others, if we didn't change at all like this, these Digimon were always with us. We've been friends all the time. We learned the importance of helping each other. All the things have made us what we are. New stories for all the Digi-Destined in the world. Taichi 17 high school days. And this is from the teaser trailer on the website for the Digimon Try series, which was premiering, I believe, April of this year. Again, celebrating the 15 years of Digimon Adventure. And it's a very interesting series. It is similar to Pokemon, where you have a character, like a human character, following other animal-type creatures, but they are digital made. So I guess this would make sense with the earlier times, with the starts of the internet. Sort of these characters being made out of data, if you will, and that's a big thing in Digimon Tamers, a very interesting series as well. But again, that's a series imagining the world of Digimon as a TV series, sort of a Inception kind of thing there, but nothing too important there from Digimon Tamers. But for the Digimon Adventure series, basically you have these 7 kids, which will later turn to 8 when Kari joins this series, officially joins the series as part of the Digimon Destined, or Digi-Destined, I should say. And you have all these characters in there who sort of follow a different archetype and a different, stereotype, if you will. Tai is sort of the outgoing, he's the leader of the group. Sora is the tomboy kind of character. Mimi is the girly girl kind of character. She's always wearing pink. Pink's her favorite color and all that. Izzy's sort of the nerdy type compared to Joe, who is a little bit nerdy himself, but more of a timid and sort of a kind of guy who doesn't really like to take risk and all that. So he likes to stay reserved within himself. Then you have Matt and TK, a brother duo, who TK is a little kid, so obviously he's like whimpering and crying all the time, similar to like a Gohan kind of character in Dragon Ball Z. And Matt, he's sort of a character who tries to look out for TK, but while still having sort of leader qualities, sort of like a Scottie Pippen, if you will, to Ty's Michael Jordan aspects of their characters. And so again, I mentioned this before, all the characters' names are different, like Matt is Yamato, Izzy is Kushiro, but I guess they took his last name in Izumi, and took that on as his name in the American series, and Izzy. And then Joe is like Ju, instead of Joe. Mimi is still Mimi in both the English dub and the subbed version of this. They just different last names, I'm guessing, in Tachikawa, perhaps. I don't really remember them referencing her last name at all. But TK is Takeru, so I guess, TK is similar to that. Sora is still Sora in there. Tai is Tai Chi. And instead of Kari, it's Hikari. And again, they just took up the he parts and put in the Kari parts in there. Again, that's Kari is Tai's little sister within this series as well. And they each have their own Digimon partner in Agumon, Gabumon, Palmon, Patamon, Biomon, Gamamon, I believe that's all of them, Tentamon, and Taomon or Gatomon, which is like Taomon is what they call him in the sub-series, and her actual name is Gatomon in the English dub series. And again, it just follows their adventures. I believe the whole series is only like 56 episodes, and the first half is within the digital world, and then they go back to the real world, where then they get called back in there, sort of a cliche kind of thing, where heroes are called back within the action there. And very interesting series. Again, like the digivolving is sort of like the same thing as evolving in Pokemon there. So very big similarities to Digimon and Pokemon. Of course, Pokemon did come first compared to Digimon, and again, a very interesting series where it does have similarities to these series, but it still kind of stands on its own with its terminology and its world building. And I think the English dub version does a better job at the world building, because they do call them Digi-Destined instead of giving them a sort of generic term like the chosen ones, or like the chosen few, or whatever they call them. And the Digi-Destined gives them a little bit of a name that's unique to the series, and all that stuff there. The fact that they only have one Digimon, you can't have multiple ones like in Pokemon. You have a team there, but it's a partner duo you have here with the human partner within the Digimon partner. Like the Digimon, they keep digivolving more and more, and we do see the sort of good and bad things about that as well, especially when the episode where Agumon turns into Skull Greymon, that's sort of showing that, they need to defeat Devimon as quickly as possible, but they have to keep it within themselves as well. And so that's similar to something like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where Aang, he needs to master all 4 elements within a certain amount of time, and that's sort of what this series is doing here. Like, you have to defeat Devimon and save the digital world within this sort of amount of time in the beginning of the series, and that's sort of what they learn there, when, or at least what Tai learns when Agumon does evolve into Skull Greymon. And this series had a good run from March of '99 all the way to around November of 2000. So I guess from the ending of there, 15 years later, we move on to them in high school, and very curious what they're going to do about that. So I know a lot of fans, they're probably going to be excited for a new breath of fresh air for this series, because Digimon Adventure 2 didn't really do justice to the original characters in terms of where you want them to go in their futures, especially the way it ended with Agumon and Tai becoming lawyers, Gabumon and Matt became astronauts. That was very weird. Didn't really take itself too seriously. It's Digimon, so I guess it's very hard to take yourself too seriously there. But still, I think a lot of fans, they wanted more from the series there in terms of terms like fans will love to ship different couples or whatever, Tai or Sora or Matt and Sora, wherever you want there, and then just the future of the characters. Like there was really a solid solidified future within these characters, especially the way it ended. And the teaser trailer does show those images back again with the characters sort of leaving their partners for good. It seems like they're saying goodbye, they're running there, and then you have the whole theme song in the end. It was very much a emotional ending for the series, and Digimon Adventure 2 didn't really respect that ending in terms of where the characters are now. And so really curious on what device they're going to use. Of course, they have the Digivices, and so maybe that's some sort of way they're going to bring back the Digimon again. Is the digital world in danger? Are they going to do another thing where the digital world and the human worlds interact with each other? And so very interesting stuff there. And still, Digimon, it was sort of a good series, I think. It was pretty good compared to Pokemon. Of course, I would prefer Pokemon more, but still, Digimon's actually not that bad. I would compare it to sort of like sisters in like celebrityhood. So of course, Kendall and Kylie Jenner is a big sister duo where, of course, everyone talks about Kendall, but you also have Kylie there, who's also, isn't that bad looking herself. Also, you have Dakota and Elle Fanning. Dakota Fanning is a big talked about star, but Elle Fanning, who's probably a lot more talented than Dakota, is actually, behind her as well as a great talented star herself. And so Digimon is sort of like that to me compared to Pokemon, where Pokemon was very popular and really captured, of course, with the games and the cards and stuff. But compared to Digimon, it had a game itself, it was okay, and the cards itself, the card game didn't really catch on much. It was mostly for collectibles, but still, it was still there and still actually pretty good compared to Pokemon. But Pokemon really got more into the zeitgeist, if you will, for fans, and so I think that was the main difference to them, because I think Digimon was I don't know, like it was the birth of the internet around that time, like 1999, early 2000s, and so I guess that's sort of what the idea was based on, trying to play off that, of the introduction of the internet and how these digital monsters could be created, and you call them Digimon, and you enter this portal through the computer. And so a very interesting concept. I think it may have been a little too ahead of its time, and while people couldn't understand that concept, but now with the age of the internet we are in now, really curious whether this series, Digimon Try, will introduce that, whether they will sort of set it in today's time with today's internet. So really curious whether they'll do that or not, but still, I think Digimon's a really good series. Do recommend you guys checking it out. Either on Netflix, again, the sub series or the dub series, depending on what you prefer more, whether you prefer reading subtitles or you prefer just hearing the English dub voice actors. Again, it's the early 2000s, early 1999, so they did a pretty decent job back then. Of course, there's some errors and mistakes here and there, but still pretty decent job for what they had in the early 2000s. And so all in all, again, I really much enjoyed this series. If I would give it a rating, I'd probably give this whole entire Digimon series like a 7.75 out of 10, lots of decimals there, but still, very solid series, very enjoyable. Again, only comparing it from the original Digimon series, not doing any movies, or any sequel series, or any spin-off series that have spun up for many years. I think the last one was like in 2012 or whatever. I didn't really watch that at all, but the original Digimon series is a really solid one. I do recommend you guys checking it out. I think it is a little underappreciated, or at least underrated into the eyes of many anime fans. And again, maybe because I'm very nostalgic about it, I'm definitely going to check out Digimon Adventure Try to see where they do take these characters in the future, especially in the high school years. And again, where are they going to take this series? With TK and Kari, they're usually the future of the series because they're younger. Whether this will turn into maybe spin-offs, perhaps, or like a future franchise, probably. I have no idea what they're going to do with Digimon Try. Again, with Tai, Sora, Matt, what they're going to do with them, Izzy, Joe, Mimi, what are they going to do with these characters as well? And so really curious what they're going to do, especially today's technology, because the animation style from the original photo, at least some visuals I've seen so far, look pretty good so far. Really blending with the animations they had with Digimon and really updating that to today's animation style we have of today. And so really excited to check this out and see where they take this series in the future for the 15th anniversary of Digimon. And so what do you guys think about Digimon? Do you think it's underrated? Do you think it's a little underappreciated by anime fans? Have you ever watched it before? Have I convinced you to watch this anime show already? But still, really curious what you guys think, so don't forget to put that in the comment section down below and your thoughts and opinions on Digimon Adventure. Are you curious about the the future series for the 15th anniversary Digimon Adventure Try? So again, put your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video, and check out all my other videos in the link in the description down below. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Bye bye.